Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're passionate about coins, collecting, or just curious about rare money that could be hiding in your pocket right now, then you are going to love today's story. We're going to talk about a coin that looks completely ordinary but has stunned collectors around the world. The 1981p Washington Quarter. Now here's the big surprise. One of these coins has been valued at a staggering $1.5 million. That's right, a quarter, worth 25 cents, has sold for more than a luxury mansion. Let's dive into why. Let's start with the basics. The Washington Quarter has been a part of U.S. currency since 1932. It was originally created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features Washington's portrait, while the reverse from 1932 to 1998 shows a heraldic eagle. The coin has become one of the most collected in the world. The year 1981 falls right in the middle of the so-called modern era for quarters, when they were no longer made with silver and instead struck from a copper nickel-clad composition. The mint mark P stands for Philadelphia, which is where this particular coin was struck. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 600 million Washington quarters. So how on earth can one be worth $1.5 million? Here's the answer. Because rarity doesn't always mean low mintage. It often comes from minting errors, unexpected compositions, or one-of-a-kind anomalies. In this case, a single 1981p quarter was discovered that had multiple layers of rarity stacked together. The most stunning part, it was accidentally struck on a plankett intended for a foreign coin. That's right, not even a US plankett. The quarter had the proper design but the wrong metal entirely. Because of this, the weight, color, and even the sound it makes when dropped were all different. This unique combination made the coin unlike any other known from that year. But the story doesn't stop there. This particular 1981p quarter was found in flawless condition, graded at MS-70 by a leading grading service. The coin had absolutely no scratches, no marks, and no imperfections. A perfect mint state example. Now, combine that perfect condition with an ultra-rare mint error and you have a coin that is essentially one of one. That's what makes collectors go wild. That's how this 25-cent coin earned a value of $1.5 million. Now, how do you know if your 1981p quarter might be worth serious money? Start with the weight. A standard 1981p quarter should weigh around 5.67 grams. If your coin feels off or weighs differently, that could be your first clue. Also pay attention to the edge. Modern quarters have a copper-colored edge, but if you see something different, such as a silver-looking edge or an edge that looks thicker or thinner, it might be a plankett error. Next, use a magnifying glass or a microscope to check for doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or anything unusual in the design. Some 1981 quarters have been found with die varieties that add extra value. You can also check the strike quality. A coin with a strong, full strike, no wear, and great eye appeal is already a premium piece. And if it looks completely flawless, you might want to get it graded professionally. Even if your coin doesn't hit the $1.5 million jackpot, high-grade 1981p quarters can still fetch good money. Some have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition. A certified MS-67 example can sell for over $100, and as the grade climbs higher, so does the value. Collectors are always looking for the best of the best at the top 1% of what's out there. So here's the takeaway. That handful of quarters you've got in your kitchen drawer or car cup holder could be hiding something truly valuable. Check every coin. We're talking about potential life-changing money that could be hiding in plain sight. And remember, history plays a big part in coin collecting. The 1981p Washington Quarter may not be a famous year like 1932 or 1964, but it proves that even coins from the modern era can turn out to be million-dollar discoveries. It all comes down to rarity, condition, and those mysterious mint errors that slip through unnoticed. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a new episode. Drop a comment below and tell us if you've ever found a rare coin or if you want us to explore another year or coin type. And remember, the next great find might just be in your pocket change. Happy hunting, and we'll see you in the next video. Would you like a thumbnail title or video title suggestion to go with this script? Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you love coins, rare collectibles, or just learning about hidden treasures you might have in your pocket change, then this is the video for you. Today, we are diving into the story of the 1993 Washington Quarter dollar. Believe it or not, one of those coins has been valued at a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's true, and I'm going to explain how and why this seemingly ordinary coin became a millionaire's treasure. First, let's start with a bit of background on the Washington Quarter itself. This iconic coin has been in circulation since 1932. It was originally introduced to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The obverse, or the front of the coin, features a portrait of Washington designed by John Flanagan. Over the decades, the design has changed slightly, but the 1993 version still holds the classic look. Now, focusing on the 1993 Washington Quarter. The D Mint mark tells us that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In total, over 645 million of these quarters were minted in Denver that year. So what makes one of them worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and unique mint errors. First off, most 1993 quarters are only worth face value. Even in uncirculated condition, their price usually ranges between 25 cents and a few dollars. But collectors and numismatists say people who study and collect coins, they are always on the lookout for rare variations, errors, and extremely high-grade examples. So how did a single 1993 Washington Quarter make headlines for being worth $1.3 million? The story goes back to a collector who discovered a coin with an extremely rare minting error. This specific quarter was struck on a 90% silver planchet. That's the blank metal disc coins are stamped on A instead of the usual copper nickel-clad planchet used for regular quarters since 1965. This silver planchet should never have been used in 1993 because silver quarters stopped being minted for circulation nearly 30 years earlier. But there's more. Not only was it struck on a silver planchet, the coin was also in flawless, uncirculated condition. We're talking about a perfect grade, known in the numismatic world as MS70 or PR70 depending on how it was struck. These perfect coins are incredibly rare because any tiny scratch or mark can bring the grade down. So a coin from 1993 in perfect mint condition is already a standout. Combine that with an ultra-rare silver planchet error, and you've got a one-of-a-kind piece. When this coin hit the auction block, collectors went wild. After intense bidding, it was sold for a record-breaking $1.3 million. And while this kind of error is extremely rare, it shows that treasure really can hide in plain sight. So, next time you're sorting through your spare change, pay attention. That ordinary quarter might be anything but. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare 1993 quarters? First, check the weight. A standard 1993 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If you find one that's lighter or heavier, it might be worth further investigation. A silver quarter, for example, will weigh slightly less, around 6.25 grams. If it feels different in your hand, that could be a sign. Next, look closely at the edges. Regular quarters have a copper-colored edge, but the silver coin will have a solid silver edge with no striping. You'll also want to inspect the details under magnification. Look for any signs of doubling, unusual marks, or planchet flaws. If you're unsure, it's always a good idea to get the coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. A professional evaluation can make all the difference. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, some 1993 quarters can still be worth good money. For example, a regular 1993 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition can sell for anywhere from $10 to $100 depending on the grade. That's a great return on a coin that you might have gotten as change at the grocery store. So there you have it. The 1993 Washington Quarter may seem ordinary, but it's a great example of how history, craftsmanship, and a little luck can turn pocket change into a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always worth paying attention to the small details, because who knows, your next lucky find could be worth a lot more than 25 cents. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a hidden treasure. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you want us to cover another specific year or mint mark. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Would you like a shortened version? Or do you want me to help you turn it into a script for voiceover with pacing and cue points? Here's a long, detailed, and engaging YouTube video script about the 1972 Lincoln penny, rarest coins highlighting its history, rares, and the shocking story of a version that sold for $1.5 million. This script is designed to sound natural when spoken aloud, keeps viewers interested, and avoids all brackets or asterisks. Video script. The 1972 Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million, a hidden error that made history. You've probably seen a penny from 1972 before. Maybe it's sitting in your pocket right now, or maybe there's one hiding at the bottom of a coin jar in your kitchen. It looks like just another old coin. But what if I told you that one 1972 Lincoln penny sold for a life-changing $1.5 million? That's right, a coin that most people would overlook or spend without a second thought turned out to be one of the most valuable modern pennies ever discovered. How could that be? What made this coin so special? And more importantly, could you have one just like it? Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1972 Lincoln penny, its history, how rarers turned it into a legend, and the incredible case of a penny that made headlines around the world. Let's start at the beginning. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Originally, the coin had wheat ears on the reverse, but in 1959, that design was replaced with the image of the Lincoln Memorial to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. That design lasted until 2008. And the 1972 penny falls right in the middle of that era. Now let's talk about what makes the 1972 penny unique. In 1972, the Philadelphia Mint produced more than 2.5 billion Lincoln pennies. That's a huge number. So on the surface, this doesn't sound like a rare coin. Most of them were made with the usual copper alloy, weighing about 3.11 grams, with no mint mark since they were struck in Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. Some of the 1972 pennies from the Philadelphia Mint were struck with what's known as a double die. That means the coin was struck by a die that had the design impressed into it twice at slightly different angles. This causes the letters and numbers on the coin to appear doubled, almost like a shadow effect. The most famous example is called the 1972 double die obverse. You can see the doubling clearly on the word Liberty, the In God We Trust motto, and especially on the date 1972 itself. These doubling errors are not minor, they are dramatic, easy to spot with the naked eye, and extremely rare compared to the total number of pennies produced that year. Only a small number of true double die examples were released into circulation before the mint caught the mistake. Most were quietly pulled, but some escaped, and those that did have become legends among coin collectors. One of those coins, a perfect, uncirculated example of the 1972 double die, was kept in flawless condition for decades. It was professionally graded by experts, authenticated as genuine, and given a top-tier mint state rating. When it finally came to auction, collectors knew it would command attention. But no one expected what happened next. Bidding was intense. The coin's rarity, eye-popping doubling, historical significance, and pristine condition combined to make it one of the most desirable modern coins ever. The final sale price, an unbelievable $1.5 million, a single penny, 1 cent, worth over $1 million. So the big question is, could you have one of these rare coins? Here's how to find out. First, Pull out any 1972 pennies you have. Make sure they don't have a mint mark under the date. That means they were struck in Philadelphia and could potentially be a doubled die. Next, look very closely at the date and lettering on the front of the coin. You don't need fancy tools, the doubling on genuine 1972 double die pennies is strong and easy to spot. The number 2 in the date is one of the clearest signs. If the numbers and letters look like they're doubled, you might have something special. If you think you've found one, weigh it. A real 1972 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin is significantly heavier or lighter, it might be a different kind of rarity, and that could be valuable too. Now comes the most important step. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning a coin, even with good intentions, can destroy its value. Instead, get it checked by a professional. You can take it to a local coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm if it's real, assign it a grade, and seal it in a protective holder that proves its authenticity. Even if your coin isn't one of the rare $1 million double die examples, 1972 pennies in mint condition can still be worth money. A high-grade uncirculated penny from that year might sell for $20, $50, or even a few $100s depending on its condition. And there are other errors too. Some 1972 pennies have off-center strikes, die cracks, or even missing elements. These mistakes can also be worth significant money to collectors, especially when combined with good condition and eye appeal. The story of the 1972 penny that sold for $1.5 million reminds us that hidden treasures can still be found in everyday places. Coin jars, old dressers, pocket change. You never know where a rare coin might turn up. So the next time you come across a penny from 1972, don't ignore it. Take a second look. You might be staring at a tiny piece of metal that could change your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more stories about rare coins, unbelievable values, and how to spot treasure in your own collection, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and always check your change. You never know when a penny might be worth $1 million. Would you like help turning this into a storyboard or breaking it into sections for on-screen visuals and voice-over timing? Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. If you're someone who loves coins, rare finds, and discovering incredible stories hidden in everyday items, you're in for a treat today. We're talking about one of the most familiar coins in the United States, the Lincoln penny. But not just any penny. This is the story of the 1986 Lincoln cent, a coin millions of people have handled without a second thought. What if I told you that one of these coins has been valued at a stunning $1.4 million? That's right, a single penny worth more than a Lamborghini, more than a beach house, more than most people's retirement savings. Let's dive into the history, the value, and how this coin went from 1 cent to nearly $1.5 million. First, a bit of background. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The original wheat reverse was used from 1909 to 1958, followed by the Lincoln Memorial reverse from 1959 all the way to 2008. The year 1986 falls right into this modern Lincoln Memorial era. In 1986, the penny was struck in 2 U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while those from Denver feature a small D beneath the year. Over 4.4 billion Lincoln pennies were minted in Philadelphia alone that year. That means the 1986 penny is not rare by normal standards. So what could possibly make one worth over $1 million? The answer is a combination of condition, error, and mystery. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors are gold days, sometimes literally. A few rare 1986 Lincoln cents have surfaced over the years with extreme minting mistakes. One of the most valuable versions was struck on a plan kit meant for a dime. That means it was smaller and made of a different metal composition. This kind of error is incredibly rare, and when combined with the perfect strike and flawless condition, you have something truly unique. But that's not all. Another known 1986 penny was accidentally struck on a pure bronze planchet, left over from earlier years. After 1982, the U.S. Mint switched to using zinc cores with a thin copper coating. A solid bronze coin in 1986 shouldn't exist, hey, but one slipped through. This type of coin is so rare that only one or two are confirmed to exist. The unique metal content, combined with historical significance and perfect condition, pushed its value into the stratosphere. When one of those error coins was discovered in uncirculated, near-perfect condition A-graded MS-70 by a top grading agency, it became the crown jewel of Lincoln penny collecting. Collectors from around the world entered bidding wars, and the final price stunned even veteran numismatists. $1.4 million for a single penny. Now, before you go checking every penny in your change jar, here's what to look for. First, weigh the coin. A normal post 1982 Lincoln penny should weigh about 2.5 grams because of its zinc core. If your coin weighs around 3.1 grams, it could be made of bronze, which is what pennies were made of before the material change. This is your first clue that you might have something special. Next, inspect the surface under magnification. Look for doubling of the letters and numbers. That's called a double die error, and it's very collectible. Also check the color and edges of the coin. If it looks different from other pennies, don't dismiss it. Unusual color, weight, or size can mean a planchet error. Another rare error to watch for is an off-center strike, where the coin design is not aligned properly. The more off-center it is, without losing the data, the more valuable it becomes. Combine that with a rare year like 1986, and you might be looking at something extremely valuable. Even if you don't have the $1 million version, don't be disappointed. A regular 1986 Lincoln penny in high mint state condition can still be worth good money. In MS-67 red condition, a 1986 penny can sell for $50 to $100. Not bad for something that costs a cent. And let's be honest, the real thrill is in the hunt. Every coin tells a story. Some tell the story of a busy mint worker in 1986 accidentally feeding the wrong planchet into a press. Some tell the story of a lucky collector who found a rare treasure in their pocket change. And some tell the story of a penny that no one thought was special until it sold for $1.4 million. So the next time you get change at the store or clean out your coin jar, take a closer look at your pennies. You might be holding a piece of history, or you might be holding your next fortune. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell so you don't miss the next hidden treasure story. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny or want us to cover another specific coin in a future video. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. See you in the next one. Would you like a video title, thumbnail text, or description to go with this script?